Hey guys, so in this video, I want to talk to you about such thing as spirit of rejection and how huge it really is, how huge it is in terms of the impact that it creates in people's lives. And it is as big as the problem of human trafficking in this world. So just look at the numbers, at the reality of human trafficking, and that equals the spirit of rejection. That's how huge it is, and it's actually very much unknown, and that's what makes it so dangerous. So, what is the spirit of rejection? There are all kinds of spirits. There are demons that attach themselves to people that then give people certain thoughts or tempt them to do certain things that they're kind of not supposed to be doing. That's not what God intended them to be, and that's not how God created them in the first place. So they're trying to destroy a person's life, a person's purpose. And this spirit of rejection is basically it's the devil. So if a child is rejected by the parents, he gets the spirit of rejection. It's like a seed. If a child is rejected and the child doesn't know God, if the child does not know the role of God in his life, if the child doesn't know that he or she is accepted by God at all times, then this is when these spirits, they can really affect a person. Because imagine the child that is rejected, and it can be small, it doesn't have to be huge, even though in most cases it is. But parents really have to be careful with their children, because our emotions are so important. Our emotional health is very important. And so this seed of rejection, it starts growing. It starts growing, and it's a demonic seed. So it is there to give you thoughts like there's something wrong with you. You're not lovable. You're not accepted. You're rejected. So you have to do something to earn this acceptance. You have to, it's like you don't know that you are accepted as you are in God, right? So you will work hard to be accepted. And then what else it creates? It creates bitterness. It creates anger sometimes. Because, the child does not feel loved. He or she feels rejected, not accepted. What then starts happening? The child will sort of chase for acceptance and attention and love, which then leads to lust. Even lust, right? Because lust is like the opposite of love. It's not real love, right? It's lust. But to a lot of people, it looks like something that can substitute love. It looks like it's, if you get this attention or you feel this certain way about the person, if you are this way with a person, then it's like you are being loved by someone, when in fact that's not always the case. A lot of the times it's the opposite, and when you have that spirit of rejection is when you kind of start attracting the wrong kind of people into your life, because the spirit will give you certain thoughts and you will start seeing world in the way that, you know, you deserve this kind of people, and you don't deserve, you know, the good kinds of people, the people that would actually love you. You know, it's like it will give you like all these distorted thoughts. It will literally distort your mind, and it will literally drag you more and more into the darkness. So like I said, things like bitterness, anger, lust, all of these things will start entering your life if you don't have God with you. And we also find ourselves in a society that accepts and normalizes things that are against God's word, that are not natural to us. And it's like this child that has the spirit of rejection on him or her also finds themselves in this society that kind of hints that, well, it's okay to be this way, it's okay to do these things. This is when they give in to these things and they go further and further down this road into the darkness. And always chasing, you know, things, and in fact what they really want, they want to be loved and accepted. And now I want to talk about the human trafficking. We know that all predators, they operate on emotional attachment. They want to manipulate the victims so that they kind of get stuck with them. A lot of the times it begins in the way that they will show this quote-unquote love to the victims. They will treat them like princesses and like they're all they ever wanted in their lives. But then they will slowly turn into this villain that will literally sell them to clients for money, you know, also threaten them, like take pictures of them in the act, threaten that they will expose the thing, and also threaten to harm their close ones. But, you know, in the beginning, what got them into this situation is the spirit of rejection. It's because they were so desperate to be loved, to be accepted, so that they overlooked the red flags. They got with these people in the first place, and they also attracted, like the devil would send them these people because they know that this person has the spirit of rejection, this person is vulnerable, so this person will be an easy target for the predator. And so this is how these girls, they talk about girls, but it doesn't have to be girls, but a lot of the time that's what it is, you know, sex trafficking. They are lured in because they're shown this love, and predators know they don't care about, you know, how the victim looks. All they care is if they can kind of get them on the hook. And this is how they get stuck. I heard stories where girls would say that they knew that what they were doing was wrong, like what these predators were making them do was wrong, but they still like felt some kind of sympathy towards the predator. Is because of the bond, this codependence or whatever thing that they were feeling towards this person. And also then they would get to a point where they just don't know what to do. They don't just feel accepted by anyone. They stopped accepting themselves, right? They start hating themselves. They don't know, their own worth. A lot of them start thinking like they're only worthy because of their body, That's the only thing that they have. And that's not true. But truth is that it all started with the spirit of rejection. And now decades passed, and this girl, she's suddenly in a very dark place just because of the spirit of rejection. And truth is that it's not God's will for her to be there. It's not what God intended her to be and where to get there, right? God did have a plan for her, but the devil also had a plan to destroy that. This is why it's so important to know that God always loves us and accepts us despite anything at all times. And if this child would know that they're always loved and accepted no matter what by God, no matter what their parents did or said, no matter what their outside world is, they're loved and accepted and they're fine. They don't need to work to prove themselves. They don't need to chase after people to be loved. Then they're fine. They may have to go through some hardship, but in the end, they will end up in the right place. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't know their acceptance in God. And they think it's just them. And people don't realize that these things, these spirits, these demons are real. And that's, the problem, because the whole world bought into the lie that devil doesn't exist, that there is just God. And, devil is a liar. So it's never too late to find your acceptance in God, to be with God. It doesn't matter how far the devil pushed you down the wrong path. God can still restore things. God can make things work for you. God will make all these things work for you. But you have to find your acceptance in God. You have to be with God. And you have to know that you are loved and accepted and that He will never forsake you. Because truth is, if these predators, if everyone knows their place with God, they couldn't do anything to anyone. We just need to understand that these demons, these spirits, they also work in groups. So you just need to have like one seed planted into you. And if you're not with God, then, you will get more and more demons, and you will get tempted to go to, down different paths, and the devil will send you people. But if we have this knowledge, we can be saved and not give in to the devil. But yeah, spirit of rejection is basically equals human trafficking. And it's sad, but God is with us, and so we can overcome anything with God. We just have to trust, and we have to pray. We have to make things right. No, when I think about it, I personally struggled with the spirit of rejection since my childhood. I wouldn't say that my childhood was that bad, but I definitely had the spirit on me. And it did push me go down a certain road that I wouldn't have chosen if I didn't have that spirit. I wouldn't have ended up with a certain person, a narcissistic boyfriend person that then brought into me even more, demonic things. That then, brought another thing and another thing until, I started taking things into my own hands, searching for answers, and finally, I found God, or God rescued me, God saved me. And it was not anything close to human trafficking experience, but I definitely understand how it feels to have the spirit of rejection. And the only reason I got with the wrong person was because I had that spirit on me. And I don't want to kind of judge or just blame everything on that person, because they are struggling with their own spirits and demons that they have on them, and they think that that's how they just naturally are, when in fact, no, it's the spirits that make them this way. But it's basically, it's like the demons on different people, and they interact in a certain way, and then they destroy lives of people. So it is, possible to make things right, to be saved, but the only way it can be done is with God and through God. God is the only way. If we know our place with God, then we are saved. We will be okay no matter, what happens. Because even when you are a Christian, when you are doing things right, when you are with God, you can still be rejected by people. It doesn't mean if you just become a Christian, you will suddenly be accepted by everyone. That's just not how people are. And a lot of people have demons on them, that will make them resent you for being a Christian. That can happen too. But if you are with God, you're fine with that, and God will bring you the right people into your life. But this is why we need to be with God, and God is the only way for everyone. And the sooner people will realize it, the sooner we will overcome this problem. You know, our true enemy is not flesh and blood, it's the principalities. It's not people, it's demons, it's the devil. And only God can really help us in this. So, you know, God will turn your all your loses, all your loss, into your victories, and God will make it work for you in the end. You know, like in my case, I did learn so much about spiritual things, about narcissists, about how people are. And now I do what I do because God turned all that into good, right? So some people, they come into our life to be a lesson. I guess we could put it this way. But God will turn it into a lesson. God will turn it to work for you. So, yeah. It's very, very serious. It's very serious for all parents to be so careful that their children don't feel rejected. Because that feeling will start its dark agenda right away in them that will then turn into things you don't want to even think about. But it's also very important for everyone to truly have God in their life, to truly accept Jesus in their lives. And this is when God will work in your life, and He will make things work for you the best way. So I guess this is what I wanted to share with you in this video. It's very serious, so if you know anyone who may be struggling with the spirit of rejection, if you know anyone who is in this human trafficking thing, please share this information with them. It's very important. It can truly change your life if you have this knowledge. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.